This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Matthew Banfield joining us, our weight consultant at Essential Protein Lifestyle from beautiful Colorado Springs, Colorado. He's joining us live today on the podcast and Zoomcast to talk more about his weight loss center. How are you?
Spectacular. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. New York weather, fall's coming in. It feels good. What about you? How's the weather in Colorado?
It's changing, so it's getting a little cooler.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about what you do. This is exciting. I want to, obviously we're going to promote your weight loss center. We're going to talk all about it and get your background. So give us a little overview to start.
So it's been around for 14 years. It was founded by a man by the name of Dr. Eric Wilson, who now is taking up residency in a chiropractic firm in Dubai. He sold the business to me in May of this year. And all I did was add lifestyle to the name, kept everything the same, obviously because it works. My philosophy is if it works, don't try and fiddle with it or fix it. I actually, before going on to the buying it, I wanted to actually make sure that it did. I was 230 pounds before I bought the program. Hit it hard for 3 weeks, dropped from 230 to 182. In 3 weeks. And so it does work. And then I started working out again. And so I put a little bit of muscle back on. The weight is still, it's under 200. So that's still good for me. I'm going to be putting myself back on another 3 week hit hard and bring the muscle definition out again.
Amazing. Congratulations. Well, we have a lot to get to. Hold on.
Sure.
Before we talk more about the center and how you're helping so many people shrink that waistline, burn that fat, and build, a whole new world mentally, physically, really, and emotionally, because, all those things help when it comes to weight loss. And we want to make sure we do it right. Tell me just a little bit more about where did you grow up? And I want to hear a little bit about your journey and what, you went through, if you don't mind.
I grew up in California born in the 70s, grew up under Reagan in high school. I went to school in Lancaster, California. What else do you want to know? I mean, I think my journey took me from there, took me to Chile to serve a mission for the church that I belong to.
Oh, wow.
Then got back. I was doing construction, putting together prefab homes, putting them on jacks, very, very dangerous stuff that I didn't realize how dangerous it was at the time, being young and indestructible as I was back then. My dad approached me. I was living at the home at the time, and he says, I can't afford to send you to college. And I wasn't even thinking about college at the time. He says, I think you need to look into the military. He pointed me towards the Air Force. I said, okay. So I went to the Air Force recruitment center, talked to them. They wanted me to be 155 pounds, and I was nowhere near 155 pounds. So I asked them, theoretical question, if I get down to 155 pounds, will I be able to choose what I want to do in the military?
Mm-hmm.
No, we'll choose that for you. I said, thank you very much. Crossed the hall into the naval office, talked with them. They said, oh, we'll take you right now. In fact, you can grow some facial hair, which I do right now. But so what do you want to do? And I said, well, I wanted to be a medic. And I said, a corpsman. Well, I'm thinking, corpsman, that means Marines. And I didn't really want to do that. And he says, well, corpsman is what we call our medics in the Navy. I said, okay.
Yeah.
And he said, well, you might want to look at the Marines. And I said, okay, I'll oblige you. So I went to the Marine office, and found a guy who's locked up in detention. He's in shorts and a T-shirt, getting his lens shaved off for not having a friend with him. And I said, maybe this isn't for me. He crossed the hall over into the Army's office and believed every single lie they told me. So I went into the Army as a combat medic, even though they wanted me to be an engineer, because that's where my ASVAB scores tested. I was better engineer.
Amazing.
They said, well, you could do engineering or mechanic. And I said,
Yeah.
well, what's the difference between working on a car and working on a human being? The only difference for me would be that I'm dealing with blood instead of oil. They said,
So
okay, you
true.
got it there. Let me be a medic.
Oh my goodness.
So
And
I
if you,
served. I served under the what I call the BBC administration. I'm sure I'm going to offend some people here, but that's all
it's
right. It's not
okay. You're allowed to.
to be offensive, but it's not my intent to sugarcoat things either. I call it the Billy Bob Clinton administration.
Mm-hmm.
I went from there, went over to Germany, and when I got there, the Germans were actually kind of laughing at us for having voted him into office instead of
Oh,
re-electing uh, Bush. So that was interesting idea, but I don't want to. I don't want to turn this into a political thing. So I was there for 2 years, learned a little bit of German, so I speak Spanish and a little bit of German. Um, got back, bounced around
mm,
from job to job. Well, actually, I came back. I was here in Colorado Springs where I met my wife. We went to Georgia from there to a clinic, which I'd never
wow.
worked at. I'd always been
Mm-hmm.
in combat arms. Went to working at a clinic was completely different for me. Did get my expert field medical badge with a Ranger battalion there, which was really cool, really
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Um, Good training. Then I was medically retired, and she moved us back. My wife moved us back here. Moved me, her, and our 2-year-old son back to the Springs.
Yep.
Um, then I found work at different places, and the interesting part about this was that I had been working with a person who with Miracle Clean Carpet Care, and Dave Myers being the owner, and I watched his body. He's only 5 years older than I am, Jill, and I watched him have to get a knee replacement. I
Uh,
was straining my knee and my hips already as it was, and I'm thinking to myself, I do not want.
oh, you there? Did I lose you? Matt? Matt, are you still with us? Matt Banfield, ladies and gentlemen, we may have some connection issues. If you are still in tune, let me just tell you about Essential Protein Lifestyle.
There you go.
There you are.
So
We lost you. I was going to have to go to a commercial break. Go ahead.
I don't know how it happened. I think I must have hit something accidentally. That's not my. I apologize. I'm holding the camera better this time. So
All
all right.
good.
So so I saw that where he was headed with that, and I said to myself, that's not where I want to be in 5 years, getting a knee replacement.
Mm-hmm.
And so my wife saw a friend, a chiropractor friend of mine, had an opening and went to work for him. But at the time, he didn't realize it. But I'm a little expensive, so he couldn't afford me.
Mm-hmm.
But lo and behold, Essential Protein is in the same building.
Ah,
And
okay.
so I was talking with Dr. Wilson about his business, and he says, "Well, yeah, it's basically heart centered." I'm like, "Wow, that's interesting. I'm concerned about my heart too."
Yeah.
Um, and so I looked into his program, and he's got a Fit 3D. I've got a Fit 3D machine now. And what it does is you stand on it, gives you your weight, and it rotates you around in a circle, scans your body, kind of like what they do in the airport, and kind of gives you that kind of a scan. Fortunately for me, I don't usually get those scans. All I do is get for the clients. All I do is get a silhouette. So I
Yeah.
don't get to see everything they get to see in their email.
Wow.
But it gives you a body shape rating, And the body shape rating is from 0 to 100, obviously, but but the lower ends is not the best thing. Those are the indicators that you're headed toward a cardiac or vascular attack. And when I got on that scale and they rotated me around, I came back and I got the results from Dr. Wilson. I was at a 19. So
Wow.
even trying to change jobs, I was still headed towards a cardio event.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I put myself on the program. I dug in, I did it, um, dropped
What?
dropped 42 pounds and got back on the scale again. That rotates me around, and I'm looking at the results. I don't have Dr. Wilson to go over them with me, but being a medic and knowing a little bit about that field, I was able to interpret them. I'm at a 54,
Wow.
which that's a huge jump. It puts me from red into yellow, almost green, as
Wow.
far as the results are concerned. And these are good. This is solid
Yeah.
medical. It's a solid medical scan. So
I want to hear more about this. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, if you are just tuning in, Matthew Banfield joining us here from Colorado Springs, Essential Protein Lifestyles, the name of the company, Essential Protein Lifestyle, that is. So, people out there are saying, well, how could you help us? I want to lose weight without exercise. Well, some exercise, right? Without drugs, exercise and not being hungry anymore. How are we doing this? Give us some more. I would love to hear some more real results. And I saw some on the website earlier, which is impressive, but tell us a little bit about the process and the program.
well, okay. All right. So you come in. We talk a little bit. I want to get your goals and your ideas for yourself. I want to work with you, not against you. And I'm not a taskmaster. I'm more of a coach, a kind of
Got it.
a
Mm-hmm.
male version of a cheerleader, if you want to
Mm-hmm.
call it that way.
Yeah.
Um, I'll help lift you up, give you inspiration. I mean, there's certain things that I can't do if there's a real, because a lot of it is headspace, right, Jill? A lot of it is headspace. It's what you're thinking about yourself that's causing the issues. And I was told earlier on this year, read it, that the way our parents talk to us becomes, as children, becomes our inner voice that we talk to ourselves with. And so sometimes when I'm dealing with people, I have to get past the negative headspace that has been created by, most of the time it's inadvertent by
Mm-hmm.
parents who didn't understand the psychology of children and how children respond. So I have to outsource that. So I have to send them to a different place because I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist for that matter. But I am a good cheerleader.
Yeah,
And
you sure are.
I'm a good coach. So we talk a little bit. I can have you fill out some paperwork. Then I help you program the scanner. It gives you your name, your your email, your phone number, that sort of stuff, your basic information, so that they can email you directly the results of the scan, so that you're not sitting there. Oh, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what he was talking about. All I do is get to see what he says, and so I give you time to give you a chance to. It's a locked room, so you can lock the door, change. I suggest that if you're a woman, to put your hair up in a bun and do that the same way every single time. Have the same type of clothes on every single time, preferably form fitting clothes, spandex type of thing like that. Get on a scale, it turns you around. You come back, you consult with me, and then I help you pick the food that is available after I go over a little workshop as far as what your body's been doing, what our nutrition system in this country has taught our bodies to do. And that is, it's taught our bodies, our pancreas, to develop what is called hyperinsulinemia, meaning
Yeah.
it creates more insulin than is needed, and it holds on that stuff is what holds on to the fat.
Wow.
So that is what is happening, Jill, to everybody's body when they eat something. I can eat a big meal, and 30 minutes later, oh my gosh, I'm hungry again. That's what's happening
Amazing.
to the body. And so I help. What I do is I help them by getting different type of protein stuff into their system. It's I keep the pro we keep the in here we keep the protein high, carbs low, sugars almost nil if there's any at
Yeah.
all. And then if they're dedicated like I was in 3 weeks, the typical results are anywhere between 3 to 7 pounds a week. So you're dropping it pretty fast. And that's without any drugs. There aren't any drugs in my food that I give them. There isn't any exercise for the first 2.5 to 3 phases. There's 4 phases in that whole thing, and then the then the last phase we go in and we get them adjusted back into regular eating habits with regular food. Now, Jill, people look at me and say, "Well, that's got to cost a lot of money," and I'm like, "Yeah, if you want to buy food at the grocery store and the food here." Which what I'm telling them to do is you take the food that you normally buy for 2 meals for yourself. You figure that out. How much does it cost for 2 meals a day? Times that by a week, times that by a month. Okay. So normally that's coming around $250, $300 a person for 2 meals. That's it. For
Yep.
2 meals. Stuff for
Yep.
2 meals. And I said, okay, so 200, 250, $300. We get you product for about that. So it's a lateral shift. So you're not spending anything extra there. The only extra would come in for the use of the machine. Now, I'm charging $99 for the machine. You get to use it as many times as you want during the month. You can
Yes.
come every other day and rotate yourself around and have some fun on that machine all you want for
Wow.
$99.
Wow.
And then I'm asking you that you consult with me at least 4 times a month. So
Okay.
and my charge is $25. That's it. I'm a retired medic and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a doctor, so I can't charge 50 to 150 to $200 a month for which is what a doctor would charge is 150 to $200
Yeah.
for the program. And being a retired combat medic and not a doctor, I can offer this for a lot less.
Wow.
So it's so above and beyond your normal average spending for 2 meals a day for a week, for 4 weeks, for a month, um, and about $199 extra, you're getting yourself into a
Wow.
heart healthy zone.
Mm-hmm.
You're feeling better. Your knees aren't hurting. Your back
Yep.
isn't hurting as much. You're feeling better about yourself. I've got supplements that actually help with your skin,
Mm-hmm.
help with the cellulose, help with all that stuff to where you're feeling a little bit younger. You may not be looking younger because I know I don't look like I'm 23 anymore, but you're feeling it. You're feeling like you're
And look,
23.
absolutely. And also, can I just read some of the testimonials? I want to hear from you directly as well, but I was on the website and I think it's important. I want to share some. Cheryl says, I enjoyed the whole dieting experience. I love the staff. They were concerned about me and helped me through all of my stumbles that came across. I'm no longer carrying around the extra uncomfortable weight and stress. I've gone from a one times in plus size to 10 to 12 in regular. Feels great to shop in regular stores. The essential protein method works. Jane, she says she was 10% of patients on chemotherapy in pill form that gained weight. She tried everything, including a direct competitor to you all, and nothing worked. Don't believe me? She's like, look at the results. And she actually showed a text message, which is here as well. It says my weight at week 1 was 263.5 pounds, down from, ready? 272.8 pounds, so 9 pounds in 1 week. I mean, and there's so many more amazing testimonials. And before we go, we are out of time. We got 2 more minutes left, Matt. I want to ask, do you want to share another story, or how did you kind of want to sum up for today's show?
I just want you to know that anybody out there looking at this and thinking that they can't do it, you can. If you're saying that you're on a shoestring budget, but you're not looking like the way you want to look, I'm happy to work with you with the food. The only thing that I can't budge is the machine and my cost. I have to eat sometime too, So, but yeah, I'm willing to work with you on all that. And my goal is for you to help you to be the person that you want to be, the healthy person that you want to be. If you're in your 50s, or even if you're younger, and you realize, hey, well, at some time my kids are going to grow up and I'm going to have grandkids, and you know what? I'd like to be around for a lot of that grandkids journey too. I would be happy to help you get there to where that heart incident that might be looming in your future goes back in the rear view mirror for you. Okay.
Sure it does. All right. Well, thank you so much. How can we reach out to you? Please share.
Yeah. My email address is matthew.eplifestyle@gmail.com. Website is the name www.essentialproteinlifestyle.com. I'm on Facebook under Matthew Banfield. I don't have the link. I don't have a direct link to a what do you call that? Essential Protein Lifestyle link. I do have a community, but that's by invitation only. Namely because I don't want people getting on there making fun of others. It's more for support and group help. It's for people to get on there and say, hey, look, I've lost this, or I'm running into this. I'm thinking bad about myself. How do I get out of that funk? That type of thing. So it is by invitation only, but but you can find me there. If you're interested in kind of my journey, I kind of put myself into my writing as well. I got a few books out on Amazon that you can find that on mdbanfield.wordpress.com, I think. But yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. I'm so sorry. We're out of time. We got to run, Matt. Pleasure meeting you, helping those, changing the way that you live. Thanks so much for being here and joining us. Hopefully we'll connect again soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.